Hey everyone, it's me, Stuffy Cat. No way, right? It's the end of the summer already. Kinda crazy, isn't it? And well, I thought I would just to give you an update on how I see this channel going in the future. Cause there's a lot of stuff going on, As said in the birthday unboxing video or whatever, this is 2026 is my year. As in, you probably know what that means. It's the year that I'm gonna die. No, just kidding. It's the year I'm graduating. And also, by the way, YouTube's age verification AI, people who are in senior year are typically 18 years old. And if not, then I'm probably in college, right? I mean, who said anything about high school? Anyways, with all that out of the way, it's a big year for me, right? It's gonna be an emotional year, a year of lasts, and a huge transition in my life after this school year is over. And, yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be quite a lot. And looking back on everything, mainly the channel and all of that, and especially how the channel has, in a way, gone downhill, but also kind of gone uphill in different aspects throughout the past years, the past 2 years to be exact. But I thought I would catch you guys back up. For those who are interested, back up on how I see the channel moving forward. And most importantly, some of the series that I have going on right now. And how their futures might look or might not look. And possibly even a short, kind of, a little bit discussion on the end of the channel as well. I never really wanted to have this conversation, but at some point we had to have it, right? So yeah. I hope I don't forget anything, but yeah, this is extremely unscripted, if you couldn't tell already. So I'm gonna go through the playlists of my channel, which, by the way, I have just so many playlists. Oh my gosh. If you ever come in contact with my channel and you don't know where to go, simply go to the playlists and you got like a stacked amount of stuff. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, I'm going to go through and I'm going to give an update on how I see the series moving forward. And also, I think I'll be trying to also talk a little bit about some things that are not in playlists. Just some ideas I have. But I'm bound to forget something, so I apologize if that is so. To start off, the reason why I'm doing all of this, and before we get into everything, I kind of just realized how much I've not necessarily been disappointing you all and disappointing, like, people who watch me, but also, like, I could see it. It doesn't make me a disappointment, right? But it makes the actions I've done with the channel in some way, to some people at least, disappointing. And I think, I mean, it's just smart to hold myself accountable for promises that I've made. Because a quote from paraphrasing a little bit, but a quote from a book we read last year, The Firekeeper's Daughter, says something to the effect of, because the worst lie of all is a promise that you can't keep. Or a promise that you don't keep. And, I mean, it stuck with me, obviously, because, you know, it's tearing away all of the context from that, from when it was said, but thank goodness, too, because that chapter was wild as well. So, but, yeah, while I don't think I'm necessarily, I don't think I'm necessarily lying to you guys, because most of the times for series, at least recently, I've been saying, oh, I hope to get this done, or I hope it goes this way, or I hope this happens, I hope I can put out another video soon. But I'm kind of giving hope and then falling off an edge into the abyss with the things that I promise. And as well as I don't think it's, you know, the worst lie of all. It was to the character, but we're not getting into that. But I do think an unkept promise can feel like betrayal. And I don't want to betray people, right? I don't want people to feel betrayed by me. And if you're saying, well, I don't feel betrayed by you, Steffi Cat, it's fine. I understand. Everybody has their own things. You can't be expected to do everything, right? You're just one person. Thank you. But also, it's not just a betrayal to you guys. In a way, it kind of feels like a betrayal to myself. To my own aspirations. To my own promises. That I believe myself. So yeah, with all that being said, we're just gonna go through the playlists. Also, if you've been seeing the footage for this video, it should be Baldi's Basics because it's all school themed, so I'm like, aha, Baldi's Basics. I'm not good at the game, but I'll play it. I don't know, it's kind of fun. But there probably won't be much visuals for this video, I'm sorry. I hope you can understand. I'll add in visuals where I see fit, where editing Stuffy Cat sees fit, but let's go through the playlists. Starting from the oldest, and we're kind of this is just going to be a big rambling video in general, so, yeah. The Mister, that is a fully complete series. While there is some, like, lore with it and stuff, all of the lore introduced in the Mister, for the most part, apart from, I think, like, a post-credit scene that I had in, like, the Mister finale, has been paid off. So, the Mister, we don't have to worry about. Super Koopa Bros, man, what a throwback. That also has all been resolved. I mean, 200 IQ is pretty easy to resolve all of that, so, yeah. Unboxings, that's not a series. World 1. That is still ongoing, or it's supposed to be ongoing. We'll have a general World 1 talk after all of this, but just know that I in no means want to abandon this at all, and don't see myself abandoning it at all, and even see a possible finale to the channel being a finale to World 1. As World 1 is really what started it all. So, yeah. Then we have World 2. That's the much less desirable world of it's just the video games playing out, basically, and some lore here and there. As for this one being continued on, I could see this one being dropped off the deep end and just being, or just like a soft ending to it all, and like it's not a crazy ending, and it's just like, and it's over. Because I mean, I don't think most people are much invested in World 2, and even if that wasn't so, I'm not very invested in World 2 myself. It feels a lot more limiting because it has to be, you know, all gaming and stuff. So yeah. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare plush. That whole entire story has been resolved. Survive or Die series. I do not believe in the future I will ever be doing a season 2 of Survive or Die. Not just because I don't want to go to a playground as basically an adult, YouTube, an adult, but also because it was fun while it was, but it's kind of just in the past by now. Plush collection, I will be doing a plush collection before, if I'm planning on finishing and not continuing on with this channel, or having like a main story, main plush stuff goodbye to the channel. I'm still definitely, my idea was every 2 years have a different plush collection, and I think the last one was in 2024, and that was like the big one that got me a bunch of subscribers that I'm very thankful for. But I thought of making one this year, and I was like, no, I said I was gonna wait until 2026, so that's gonna be the next plush collection. Among Us plush series, that is fully not even a thing. I think there's a separate playlist. Let me see. Not sure. Maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell that this is an amazingly crafted video here. No, never mind. I'm wrong. So along with this, the Among Us plush test series, you know, the alpha test, the beta test, those two are like some of my best Among Us plush work, and I very much enjoy all of that. But that was also planned on tying into a greater narrative for World 1, the test series. And I don't think, most of what I'm going to be saying is, I don't think I have the time to focus on that before this year is over. Because, I guess kind of just putting this out there, unless you already knew, so for those who didn't know, my original plans for this channel was to completely cut it off, be done with it, finish, and say goodbye at the end of 2026. As in the end of the summer, likely. I would finish off some... Actually, I had original ideas about gap year and then finishing the channel there. I think that's extremely unrealistic. Regardless. So for the Among Us plush test series, I have a fully recorded, I think from last summer. Man. Fully recorded Among Us plush Delta test video that I never got to editing for whatever reason. So at some point I'm probably going to edit that. I feel like just either I'm gonna edit it or I'm gonna look it through and just send out like unfinished Among Us plush Delta test or something, because all of that recording should not go to waste. But as for like a clear end to the Among Us plush test series, I don't really see it happening. I'm sorry. Although I do think Delta test probably will be there, and also likely in turn be the end of the test series. The backrooms, oh my gosh. Hard one after hard one. The backrooms, oh my gosh. Looking back on the original Backrooms Season 1, man, was that a good backroom season. That was just, mwah, chef's kiss. Now, not all of it was there. I mean, obviously, some episodes, like the False Awakening episode and the Memory Bug episode, had some, like, rough patches to it, but nowhere along the lines of Season 2. Oh my gosh. When I made Season 2 of the Backrooms, I was in this little patch of the channel that I like to call the mid patch, which is like where I just consistently made very mid videos that were super boring, not interesting to make or to watch, and just, I think I was just planning way too much into them and thinking way too hard into them. But in the end, it was just, yeah. As for the Backrooms Season 3, I was originally planning a Backrooms Season 3. I don't know. I really don't know. Realistically speaking, probably not. Backrooms Season 3 probably is not going to happen, because it was supposed to be a Backrooms season that was the length of the last 2 seasons combined. So 20 episodes, huge arcs going on, huge ending. It ends up in BBO, or Backrooms Bleeding Out, a short 3-part, or just like a movie special between World 1, World 2, and World 3, and like talking about the Backrooms and some crazy hijinks. That being said, short side tangent, as if that isn't what all of this video is, but regardless, for all of these ideas I had and have for, series stuff, if you're interested in hearing about them, I'm probably by the next summer, or by the soft end of the channel, I'm probably going to make a video yapping for such a long time about all of the stuff that I wanted to do, but never ended up getting to do with series. And yeah, anyways. Backrooms Season 3, probably not gonna happen. It hurts my Backrooms loving soul, or I guess heart, to say that, but it's just not realistic. World 3. Out of all of the worlds, man, World 3 is probably the one that could just be thrown into the abyss and forgotten about completely. Like, World 3 was just like parodies, the Easter Carol one, SCP stuff. It was to me just the most forgettable world out of all of them. So likely for that, something along the lines of the World 2 ending, some sort of soft ending maybe, like non-impactful, not crazy ending to World 3, or it just doesn't get an ending. Backrooms ending series. I don't think anybody is asking for this series to come back, but for anybody who does, I'm sorry, but it's not coming back. That Backrooms ending series was a nice thing to do in the meantime of things, I guess, just to like do videos because I enjoyed it and just because I had the time. But now I don't really have time to go into the Backrooms endings genre and then try to redo my own stuff. I know I said that it was like the finale for now at the quote-unquote end of the Backrooms ending series, but it's probably just the finale for good for the Backrooms ending series, because I don't see myself going back into that. Manta storyline has mostly, I think, if there's ever a finale, there's probably going to be something about the Green Bunny in it, but the Manta storyline, other than that, has been cleared up. Oh, and of course the dogs are here. I'm going to have to talk over the dogs, I'm sorry. What If series. I originally thought of doing a season 2 for the What If series. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to streamline this so that it takes less time. And also because the dog's so annoying. Orange Yoshi plays Super Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe. That's a completed series. We're not going to have to worry about that. And I don't know if we're ever going to get a Switch 2 just because of how silly the Switch 2 in general is and how expensive it is. So just don't expect an Orange Yoshi plays Mario Kart World series because it's probably not going to happen ever. Bowser's Time Travel was a movie trilogy-ish thing. The Uno tournament, that was completed. Stuff Cat Iceberg. I thought of possibly remastering this. I don't have the time. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm sorry, guys. Battle for the Victory Plush Island. This is an interesting one. I never said that I was going to have a season 2 of Battle for the Victory Plush Island, and I'm still not going to have it. Instead, I was planning on doing a Battle for the Universe Plush Island with people from the multiverse, and it was going to be crazy, and Sans was going to be the host, and no. Yeah, I just don't have the time. So, yeah. Dark storyline has been all but resolved, other than the post-credit scene at the end of Out of the Shadows. It's all about these post-credit scenes. I probably won't be doing any music videos. Music covers, always be looking for new Stuffy Cat music covers. I love doing music. Minecraft content. Oh my gosh, I remember making like a beginning to a Minecraft Let's Play series on the Switch a while back, and I was like, okay guys, and then I might come back to it later. No, I never did, and I probably never will. Sorry. Super Plush Party. Maybe if I get like really motivated to like do a Super Plush Party with my sisters as a last hurrah for the series before like getting rid of all of that stuff. Maybe, but other than that, I don't really see any more Super Plush Party stuff. The Question Mark series, aka the Waddle Dee Gets His Children and Brothers Stolen series. I'm probably not going to get back to that. It is canceled for now, and probably also canceled indefinitely. Frisk McDonald's lore. Probably not going to have any more Frisk McDonald's lore. It was a fun little lore side quest type thing, but other than that, I do not think that I'm going to be going back to that. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll have like some sort of joke ending to it all. Might as well, right? I mean, Frisk even gets his McDonald's, so just saying. Undertale Genocide full playthrough was completed. Speaking of icebergs, I probably will end up. I like the idea of finishing, in air quotes, the Stuffy Cat Personal Dreams and Nightmares iceberg by doing the level 0 entries of all of that, which are all of the entries that I thought were too boring at the time to want to rewrite them and recontextualize them. But I think it would just be neat to have another dream-centered explanation video, because those are some of my favorites to do. And since we're on the topic of icebergs, my alternate universe Undertale iceberg, for a little bit, like, back in April, I think, I thought of remastering the Iceberg, and I ended up making A World Without You, one of my favorite Deltarune fan songs I've ever made, because it's probably the only one, but still. And also actually getting some actual art for all of that stuff. I don't know if I'm going to remaster it. That mainly just ends up being a time thing. If I have the time to, or the random motivation to go aside and do a remastering of that, sure. The Choice. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be an actual The Choice thing. It's funny because The Choice ended up kind of being turned into Shattertonia, and Shattertonia isn't looking all that great right now either, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Lots of World 1 stuff. Vari Sonnet was finished. Oh man. Subcon as the whole series. There's Subcon Story Mode and Subcon Adomidi. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Once again, I hate to say this for almost the entire video, but once again, I don't really see it happening. I don't really see myself going back to it. It's very unlikely I'm going to go back to Adomidi or the story mode, even though not going back to the story mode would hurt the most. I think putting the thing about talking about all of these series in this video is kind of in general kind of just freeing myself from my own expectation of doing them. And by doing that, I am allowing myself to focus, instead of putting all my energy out into doing like 15 different series at once. Instead, by kind of realizing I'm probably not going to continue that, I'm probably not going to do that, that's probably not a good idea, no, probably not, then I can like at least focus more of my energy stronger on just like 3 or just less series in general and bigger projects, I guess. Excursion soundtrack, I'm gonna try to get out the last 3 or 4 videos for that, because the friend who made that kind of fell off ish from our friendship, which is unfortunate, but just in general, I don't really see a purpose in continuing it if he's probably not going to be making the game and we're not all 3 working on it together. But I would like to kind of give it a send-off, since it was some of my first original music that I composed other than, you know, Out My Ways theme. So yeah. I say 3, maybe 4, because there's 3 for the last section, which is a quest theme, a shop theme, and a shark boss theme. And then there's also just a joke theme that I might end up making in some way, maybe in Silly Tail. It'd probably fit in Silly Tail, honestly, of just like a joke character theme that I still think is kind of funny, just because of how bizarre it is. But yeah. Timeline Chaos. I might get back into it. The nice thing about Timeline Chaos is that it never really had much in general, being a short series. But like, even I kind of want to know what the 7th trial is about, what the Ice Crusaders are on, you know, that kind of stuff. But I hate to say it, but probably don't count on it. Shattertonia. How many other things do I get to talk about that before that? Let's go into some of the music series that I have going on right now before I go into the big three. And so we have Piano of the Week. For those who are actually keeping up on Piano of the Week, it's supposed to be a weekly uploading series on Friday of each week. And then I stopped uploading Piano of the Week. And that was just because I kind of felt like I was putting out nothing. Like, sure, it was atmospherically decent at some points, and like Migraine was a decent song. But in the end, like, it was just kind of putting out nothing there, and just, it would be better for me to just like do improv for 5 minutes every week on piano without recording it than making it into this video series that really doesn't have any meaning to it, I guess. So, which I'll come back to that hopefully later with some of the other stuff that I'd like to talk about possible upcoming series. I say that, and then the series is gonna like it's gonna like get 4 episodes out, and then it's gonna fall off like all of the other series as I try. But that, and then we have Silly Tale Unleashed. Silly Tale Unleashed, I was originally going to say because, and a lot of this is because going back into school is kind of just rough in general. It's tough to go back into school, and especially the end of school last year, it kicked my butt. And I was not able to put like any time into the channel. I don't know if that'll be how it is this year. But I'm kind of just planning ahead with, just in case I am not able to make videos throughout the school year, then it's not like a surprise, you know? Because who knows how hard this work is going to be? Who knows how much this work is going to take out of my life? Yeah. However, Silly Tale Unleashed has become one of my favorite music series to work on, just because it is complete insanity and I can do whatever the heck I want with it. And it's also a music series that I get to do stuff on FL Studio with. Silly Tale Unleashed, while being silly, is kind of just a perfect combination of creative output and creative freedom as well. And it's just, like I say in each Silly Tale description, it's a series where I can be as silly as I want to be, or as serious as I want to be. Like, who knows, maybe one day there'll be like this super silly song that like somehow ties into brain rot in some way, and you're like, face palming in cringe. And the other day, maybe I'll like have some sort of like actually kind of beautiful piece that was like entirely unexpected and taken a lot more serious. It's just really fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. And as well as with a lot of the other series, which is why I'm making this video, and I'm sorry that it's taken so long so far. I am truly sorry. I don't mean to yap as much as I do. But I would say this is for most of my videos, but if when the school year starts, for me, which is around September, even though it's this Friday, I mean Monday, but whatever, but if around September you start to notice I kind of fall off a little bit in putting out videos, like maybe Silly Tale doesn't upload on a Tuesday, and it kind of leaves you scratching your head, and you're like, I thought Silly Tale would upload today. That probably just means school is taking all my time. And you know what? That's just how it is. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it sucks, because I mean, that's what school is, right? If I'm taking school and I'm not, in a way, being occupied by it, then like, why even do it at all? But hopefully, while it will be, occupying a good amount of my time, I will still find time to do the things I enjoy, like post Silly Tale. So, I would say Silly Tale is one of the ones that I most want to continue doing all the way until Good Night of the Undertale OST, and I think it would be really fun, because I'm having a lot of fun with the series. Anyways, into the big three. Let's talk about World 1 real quick. World 1 was, other than the plush power-up video, and also the acorn. Actually, wait. It really wasn't the first start of this channel. But, World 1 has always kind of been the lifeblood of the channel, in like its story and how I choose to tell the stories of the channel. Through the dark storyline, through the Manta, through the consciousness stuff. And I had so many plans. So many Endgame, Infinity War, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the framework ideas for World 1. But then I stopped posting to World 1 for a while. And for those who enjoyed World 1, I'm sorry. It was a bit of the channel trapping stuff, I'll be real. The whole entire phenomenon of feeling trapped within the medium that you're using. And I felt trapped within World 1. Being like, well, I can't introduce Undertale characters because they're supposed to not be introduced into the story yet. Or, well, I can't do this in the series because then it would take away stakes. And then I ended up doing a bunch of dream-related stuff to kind of circumvent all of that. World 1 means a good amount to me. And as I said before, I'll just say this. World 1 may not have many uploads till the end of World 1, but I 100% would love to end off World 1 in some sort of spectacle, in some sort of meaningful finale that ties up a nice bow on at least the major story points in World 1. I'm never gonna get to all of them. Cookie Hacker, just consciousness stuff. There's probably a bunch of stuff that I introduced that I didn't even know that I thought I was gonna immediately pay off, but then I completely forgot about because I stopped doing World 1 stuff. But just know it is a pretty big deal to me about having some sort of finale to World 1. And that will not be the Dreamscape finale, hopefully. I want it to be its own finale to World 1 in general, as some sort of... My idea is some big movie with some pieces of what I saw, the finale being all of those years ago. But we're just gonna have to see what God wants with it, right? Because that's the best way to go. Okay, speaking of World 1, Dreamscaped, a series within World 1, is kind of on the same lines as Silly Tale in a way, except a little bit less strong. I really like the idea that the story that I have planned for Dreamscaped, and I would really like to get all the way to chapter 5 of Dreamscaped, which is a about 9 videos, because we have 1, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54, 4.55. Yeah, that would be 9 videos for Dreamscaped. The thing is, Dreamscape videos take a good amount of time, and as well as I really like doing it, it also takes a good amount of musical time as well, making original themes to use in those videos. And while I don't need to, it's kind of the main appeal for me of making the series, of having dreamlike music that I get to make as my own. But yeah, for Dreamscapes in general, I really would like for me to be able to finish the Dreamscape saga with Chapter 5, which is originally when I was going to end it, in the ending that I've thought of, and the ending that I feel like I've been given a purpose for. But I don't want to promise anything. Who knows, maybe throughout this year I get 2.5 out near Christmas, and then 3 out in the spring. But then I still have 3.54 and 4.5 and 5. So it's, if I really want it done, I'm going to have to put a lot more time into it. And it kind of just depends on how school is. If school gives me the time to do so, I think most of what I plan to work on, if I'm given the chance, are probably around 4 things, and those are Dreamscaped, Shattertonia, Silly Tale, or Secret 4th Option, aka something random that I just decide to do. That would be like the remaster of the alternate universe Undertale iceberg. But yeah, I would really like to get give Dreamscaped a proper ending, and I hope I can do so. But if the time does not allow for it, then I really can't do much about that. And then the last one, Shattertonia. This one is an interesting one. It was originally Gamer's Own Tale, then it was Timeline Chaos, then it was Shattered Tale? Or something like that. And then it was Shattertonia. And we've gone through a lot of revisions of Shattertonia, and even right now I'm starting to rethink how I even want Shattertonia to go at all, thinking of going in more of a dream way of things, and maybe getting rid of the 3 main sections, but also that would kind of kill what I was trying to do with the story, and I hate to say it, but I think Shattertonia is a series that will probably not make it till the end of 2026, where the soft ending of the channel would be. While I would really like to have it done, I don't really see it happening. I think by the end of that time, I should at least have the tutorial section, FL Studio-fied music up for that Shattertonia stuff, and heck, maybe even a video series about the tutorial section of Shattertonia. But I just cannot realistically see myself actually going through with doing all of Shattertonia. It's just tough. It would take a lot of time, and right now I don't really have that time. So, yeah. It's kind of sad saying it, but as well as I'm going to be working on Shattertonia in general, expect more short like blobs of story here and there. Like there's one specific story that I really at least want to tell for Shattertonia, and that might be the end of Shattertonia. Just that story and all of that. Because all of the rest of it, all of the rest of the ideas that I had for Shattertonia were just, hey, by the way, my ideas times Undertale, and then boom, you have Shattertonia. So yeah, there's one story that I want to tell, Daryl's Tale. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid and say I'm probably not going to finish it. I'm probably not going to have a whole entire thing for it. And it sucks to say that. It actually does. I put a lot into ideas for this. I promised people roles in Shattertonia as characters. And it's just probably not going to happen. Now, it might. Every single time I see the crazy amount of plushies I have, I think to myself, I really need to make some sort of series that uses all of these plushies. Like, all of them. Like, there's not a reason why I have one that isn't unfulfilled. But that might be unrealistic too at this point. I only have a year left. And then I'll be graduated. And then I'll be flung out into the grand abyss that is college or workforce or wherever it may be. And I really don't know. I just don't know. Maybe in the future, like how I see Toadie's Monster Mix, which I really like. Maybe when I grow older and I have time, like in college or something, and I want to make some sort of music series, I'll come back to writing Shattertonia, but I don't think it's realistic. I really don't. So don't expect anything crazy from Shattertonia. It probably won't be a big thing. As much as I want it to be. But that does not mean I won't have maybe some blurb of a video or a song out there that's just like random, and I'm like, hey, I just want to make a Shattertonia thing, and that's okay. And I might do that. But I might not. I don't know. A lot of this upcoming year and the future ahead is extremely foggy for me. It's extremely unclear, and I don't know. I don't. And then that kind of leads me to one of the biggest reasons why I made this video. Although it's like one of the most recent series, and also probably the least impact on at least you guys, the Monster Mix tier list. Man, Toadie was so excited to see the first episode of the Monster Mix tier list. And I kind of just feel like I betrayed her by not doing that, by not continuing, you know. And I know I didn't. I know that's just how I feel, and feelings should not dictate reality, right? But I do feel like, in a way, I just let her down. And, like, that's gotta sting. To see some potential in somebody liking one of your projects that you poured so much into, and then them just like not do it anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. You didn't have time to cover my thing. Okay. It's just, that's the disappointment. That's the disappointment that I'm thinking about. So Toady, I know you're not watching this video, but I'm sorry. I have, like Oblivicheer and Among Us Plush Delta Test, I have the Waterfall Monster Mix ranking fully, like, there. But and I'll probably edit it. But I don't know if the full tier list is going to continue on. At the very least, I'd like to make some sort of, like, not super editing crazy video where I just yap about the whole entire script that I wrote. Because I wrote the whole entire script of the Monster Mix tier list ranking up until the Genocide songs. And I have not done it. And then it would just be a waste. But I would like to get back into the Monster Mix tier list. But that's a huge time thing. It's if I have time kind of deal. So hopefully if I do, I'll be able to go back to that. And then lastly for the series, because I want this video to not be over an hour, if you're still here, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my silly voice this whole time. But a series that might be out by now, might not be, might be coming out, is called Post-Death Games. It's based on the Post-Death Games dream I had, and vaguely on the series as well, of Post-Death Games dreams I had. And that's kind of how I see possibly some of these unanswered series is going. Like Subcon Story Mode, we're gonna have some sort of interesting dreamlike story told with it. Piano of the Week, I think it would be cool if it was a weekly series that didn't take too much and also had some sort of custom piano piece on it. Battle for the Universe Plush Island, it's gonna have constantly new characters, constantly drama between the cast because it's post-death games. And then using plushies, I sure hope so. I'll find a way. But then again, I don't know if that's gonna happen either. I really hope it does. But I might get into it, make 5 videos, and then some sort of paper hits me, and I'm like, oh, nope, never mind. Buy post-death games. I don't like doing that. I don't like making series and then dropping them, because it almost feels like killing a story at that point. And I love telling stories. So, yeah. Man, with all that being said, I think that's about all I wanted to talk about. I guess I could clarify a little bit, about the whole entire soft end to the channel. I do think after high school, the whole entire school chapter of, by the way, taxes, middle age issues, getting pneumonia, back pain. This YouTube verification AI is silly, but I don't want to take any chances. But at the end of, I think leaving the school chapter of the channel, at least the regular school chapter of the channel, would be healthy in a way, I guess. I mean, after I'm done with that, who knows how life is going to be. So it's kind of just letting go before it can be torn away from me by life. Yeah. So, soft end to the channel. Main ideas I have for that are probably most plush-related content, plush-related storied content, I should say, will be finished. Like I said with the World 1 finale thing, hopefully that happens. Like I said with Dreamscape Chapter 5, hopefully. Possibly Shattertonia as well. I just see it as an end to a lot of the big series that I had going on for the plush series. And that'll probably be by the end of summer of 2026. Yeah. But I've thought about it. And I've thought of completely abandoning the channel as well, cutting it off with that whole entire school and that whole entire chapter. But I think that would kind of be a waste. I have collected a great group of awesome individuals who have subscribed to me, for better or for worse. And there are some of you who actually do enjoy listening to my videos, to my stories, to my dreams, to my music. And I feel like saying, okay, see ya, I'm grown up now, bye, would kind of be the biggest betrayal of them all. So I think after all of that, Stuffy Cat is probably going to continue to be a channel. Maybe even one that I post to and all of that. But it'll probably, if I see any type of videos, it'll probably be, I don't know, maybe I'll get into like gaming videos. Probably not. I'm just thinking about like all of the, you know, college-ish stuff that I see of people. Anyways, it'll probably be more music-centered and telling a story with music. Because that's always been my passion. Well, in the end, what's always been my passion is telling a story to those who will listen. And I would just like to say thank you all for listening. So with all that being said, the potential farewell that I give to all of you who are listening is school is coming up for me. And usually people like throw out a community post being like, okay, sorry guys, if there's less content coming out because I'm in school, no phones. But for me, being in school and channel output are kind of a little bit mutually exclusive at times. So I just want to say a heartfelt but a little hopeful potential farewell to all of you who are invested in the stuff that I've been putting out recently. I've so much enjoyed doing Silly Tale and doing Dreamscape Chapter 2 and doing all of that. But I also understand the reality that with this senior year, things are going to be difficult, and I won't have as much time as I had in the summer. And along with that and my health and how school was at the end of last year, it's just better safe than sorry to say a potential farewell in case I end up falling off the deep end again and end up not making any videos. So, with all that being said, thank you all for listening. Sorry to myself for making myself edit this whole entire hour-long video and play Baldi's Basics probably for an hour. But most of all, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Jesus loves you. So have a great rest of your life.